And now on Pennine, Tom Adams and Shona Lincoln investigate events across the region in Focus North.
Ooh. Hello and welcome to Focus North, your regional roundup of the latest happening.
Yes, this is going to be great. Thanks for joining us for our weekly look at the regional stories that surround you.
Later in the programme, we have the latest on the protesters buried deep in church ground at Crackley.
If any of you layabouts are left here by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, then we're coming in with bulldozers.
We'll also hear the heartrending story of Martin Allen, a sufferer from the rare condition known as Clegg-Head syndrome.
This disease don't mean anything, and one day, he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to run for England in the Olympics, and then he'll thank me.
That's all to come. Now, Odmondon Council's announcement earlier this year that they were to build a giant fairground waltzer on Crackley Church ground met with strong opposition.
A month ago, protesters tunnelled underground at the site and were well and truly bedded in.
It was then up to the good people on the council to deal swiftly with the situation, before everyone's dreams of an enormous Odmondon Gala ride were ruined by a selfish few.
What do we want? A waltzer. When do we want it? Now. I'm here on a building site in Crackley where protesters have tunnelled underground and set up home. These human worms, possibly inspired by the softer southern-based activist Swampy, are protesting against the construction of a massive council fairground waltzer. And for the region's fun seekers and adrenaline junkies, this little lot could prove to be a real stick in the mud.
Now, what we all need in Odmondon is a huge 2,000-seater fairground waltzer with 5 floors of pumping house and garage. What could be more fun than that?
It's below the ground here where the problem lies. Each protester is sealed in a complex warren of tunnels. The protesters' demands are unclear, but we can definitely assume they intend to sabotage the Odmorden Waltzer project.
Now, these people work by using their bodies as obstructions. I mean, when we first decided to build on this land, it was deserted. It was just a patch of stony church ground. Now, it wasn't until we began to dig the foundations for the waltzer that we discovered those cunning outsiders had got there first. Now, these protesters are endangering themselves. They've already caved in 2 tunnels by accident. Those people could have been killed, for God's sake.
Oh yeah, these buggers are really clever. Cunning, devious, and dangerous, aren't they, Tash?
Aye, they're fucking fuckback.
You see, what they do is, they dig down into the small tunnels and erect the placards above them.
The fucking placards are fucking...
And then they keep very, very quiet, so you don't know where they are.
Near them.
But what these people fail to realise is that they're dealing with professionals.
Wankers, they're fucking fuckback cunts.
Waltzer protesters, scumbags, scallywags, bumsteers, twatheads.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of this. Doesn't matter though. Bailiff's coming tomorrow. That'll shift them.
Goods. Go over this way, and they're everywhere. And I want to make sure that you don't miss anybody. That's where the big wheel's going to be, Graves, up there. Right down here, all on this side here. Make sure you pull the all out. That's right, Graves.
No problem there at all, no.
Graves, look, all that area there, that's where they are. You've got to see to it. I mean, I'll give you this eviction order.
Come on, Bovey, stop flanneling, lad. Come on, hand it over.
There we go.
Right.
Make sure you put it somewhere prominent.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby deliver this eviction order on behalf of Odmondon Council. Now then, this means that I want each and every one of you to remove your stinking bodies from here, pack up your belongings and get out within
Out.
12 hours.
Aye.
If any of you layabouts are left here by 6 a.m.
Six.
tomorrow morning, then we're coming in with fucking bulldozers, all right?
Bulldozers.
Yeah? Has anyone got anything to say to that? No? All right. Well, there you go. You've been warned.
Being warned. Come on, lads.
Come on, lads.
Aye, that was good. You did well there, Gravesy, thank you.
I'd just leave him to rot.
Well, they're not shifting. Not a peep. It's psychological warfare. They're cold.
They're f***ing wankers.
I mean, not one of them has the guts to come up and face us. I mean, look at this. Bloody hippies leaving flowers everywhere.
You cowardly scum.
And there are women down there. And some of them have even taken the children down there. Now that's sick.
Fucking scum.
And they've even got pets. Rats on strings. Worms.
Fucking scum.
I mean, they've done all this just to wind us up.
And they've wound me up, that's for sure.
Now, if we start digging, some of those people will be killed. It would be a publicity disaster for the Walser. I mean, Sherry Blair wouldn't open this place. I mean, not if she knew there were bodies underneath.
Jesus Christ, is this a joke? I mean, work it out for yourselves. Actually, this gave me a great idea how to escape from Warpdale. Tunnelling. But I tried it. You dig 6 foot down through a crust of dirt and you hit rock. Solid and thick. Just like the people around here.
It's now been 12 hours since bailiff Alan Pigshafter Graves delivered the eviction notice, and still not one peep from the protesters. They're still coldly going about their business.
Right, OK, well, we haven't had a peep out of this lot all day. They're testing my patience now. I tell you, they're a cunning lot. This is going to be a test of strength. And we're stronger because we've got the JCBs. All right, lads. Yeah, it's a minute to go and we're in. All right? We start to dig, get ready. Now, I've got to say that you're going to have to turn camera off because there's going to be some uncontrollable violence.
The Focus North team would never go against the wishes of Odmorden Council, and we stopped filming.
Start digging them up, lads. Smash these wooden boxes.
Luckily, video enthusiast Michael Bentham from regional cable show The Fuss was there with a camera.
I've got a small child here, an old woman. I'm chopping the head from a child.
We can clearly see the protesters forcing the security guards to resort to necessary physical restraint.
There's one here! There's thousands of them! There's tons of them!
God, I fucking
digging!
there's one here!
Oh my God, they've got Tash! Tash! Oh, fuck. Boss! They've got Tash! I can't believe it! There's dozens of them!
Well, calm down, Whipple, lad.
Come and help us, boss, for God's sake!
I fucking got one of that bastard!
Now, fight!
I've got him! He's uncovered some feet!
Oh, yes, yeah, that was a tough one, yeah. One of our boys, Tash Orfley, he got badly done in. Well, we sent him off to hospital, did all we could, obviously. All we could do was just stand round his bed. Saw his last breath. I'll never forgive them.
Careful, careful! They've already taken Tash from us. Remember Tash! Do it for Tash! Come on, lads!
Anyway, we've got most of them in custody now, under intense interrogation. Just give me 5 minutes with them. Unfortunately, they know their rights. They're not saying a thing. They just stare at you with those stupid grins on their faces like it's some sort of a game. I mean, there are dead people out there. They're refusing food and drink, but it looks like they've been on some sort of hunger strike. After more sympathy, no doubt. I mean, they must think you're stupid. They've been trying to convince us that they're normal members of the public by wearing moth-eaten suits that don't even fit them.
I got his arm.
Hang on, he's resisting. Just mad out, mister.
Give him a smack. Go on. Right, that'll teach you.
You're not resisting now, are you?
Don't resist. The law. Bastard.
And you know, what disappoints me the most. Some of them were obviously very old people. Now, they should know better at their age.
Where are they?
We're playing the silent act again, boss.
I know we're played. Just ignore it, it don't matter. Just keep digging, all right?
Oh yeah, a couple of them did manage to escape. As soon as we sent the dogs in, that were it, they were off. Haven't seen them since. Gutless, that's what they are, gutless.
Into this once barren and desolate place, Councillor Booth is personally sowing his seeds of fertility. This time next year, on this very ground, a majestic fairground waltzer will be the symbol of life for the children of Yorkshire. It's all quiet here now, the protesters are gone. All that remains, the enduring peaceful image of a young boy throwing a bone for his dog.
Ah, nice to have a happy ending for a change.
You're not wrong there, Shona. Now we'll take a short break, but in a minute, a young man makes a brave attempt for triathlon glory.
Keep it up, Martin, yeah, keep it up. Keep
Young Martin Allen overcomes disease to run for his village.
See you in a minute.
This is an everyday object. Can you tell what it is? We'll tell you after the break.
Who would think of putting a phone in a box? But then what genius would think of putting a pub in a van?
Here with me, Teddy Gratian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here, the pub in a van. Look what we've got. We've got beer. We've got pies for you. We've got widescreen entertainment. My senior chef, Grog, here he is. We've got flat rabbit, flat lobster and flat birds. He drives, he flat them, and then he cooks them. I'll tell you now, if it disrupts your plan, it's the pub in the van.
Pub van coming to a highway near you. Odmedon, Crackley, Moncombe, Eudenroyd, Chippinmouth, Fagginmouth and Thundercliff.
I had always hoped to see this in my lifetime. I have been wondering about the mysteries of the universe since I was a child. Yet, looking at the beauty of these things still fills me with wonder. For me, physics is about seeing further, better, and deeper. And from here, I can see forever. My eyesight means a lot to me.
The one to watch, Sandra Bullock and Ben Affleck.
How much for you to dance? Excuse me?
Voices of Nature. Rent the video now.
Chat and date. Call friends and swap telephone numbers 090 68 79 79 79.
We asked you to identify this everyday object. It's feces on bread.
Hello, and welcome back. Now they say that a young head on young shoulders is a good thing.
But an old head on young shoulders is even better, you mad wolf.
Yes, but not literally. Young Martin Allen suffers from Clegghead syndrome, a disease which is said to affect only 1 in 200 million people.
The syndrome can have many effects, the most obvious being to give the afflicted an old man's head on a young man's body. Doctors are baffled and don't know yet whether the disease is contagious. Emma Gelding keeps her distance.
Clegghead is a terrible disease, but this plucky young lad, Martin Allen, is determined to beat it. Martin has a dream, to run the triathlon at the Disabled Children's County Championships next summer. But this dream is far away at the end of a long running track. First, to assist in his training, he has to acquire a second-hand rowing machine.
A baby born with Clegghead syndrome has an old man's head. Now, as the body ages, the head gets younger, So after a number of years, we are left with an old man's body with a baby's head. Those affected by the disease are wise when born and infantile when old. And the Clegghead face is the same for every sufferer. It was named after the first known case, a Joseph Clegg of Bingley.
Come on, Martin. Right, I'm going to time you. Let's see what you can do. Come on now, that's it. Come on, faster, faster.
Martin Allen is a sufferer of Clegghead. Ridiculed at school, his only escape is his prowess in the world of sport.
Keep those legs going.
Start the pedal. Dad, you're too fat.
Ah, give over. Give over.
Pedals are slipping. Bloody rain.
Don't talk, stupid lad. You're going to be the next Olympics.
Even those with special needs can be winners. Frankie Allen, Martin's long-suffering father, is a man who won't stand in the way of his son's gold medal ambitions. Frankie, this disease must be such a worry to you.
There's no wrong with my lad. This disease doesn't mean a thing.
But do you think if you'd known that he had the disease before he was born, what do you think you'd have kept him?
Well, it was a bit of a challenge. You see, when he was born, everybody said he had a wrinkled face, like an old man. And there you are. That's just what he's got.
Oh, looking after Martin must be such a burden. I mean, it must have been such a struggle at home.
Well, all those years, you see, sitting by the fire, you see, his body was willing, but his mind just wanted to go to sleep.
It's nice that he's been accepted by the community. You know, the local kids really love him, really love giving him the Yorkshire bumps and posting him. They also play a game where they all chase him and spin him till he's sick. You know, he loves it.
Leave him alone! What's he ever done? Leave him alone! Just leave him alone!
He's at a funny age. He's going through puberty and incontinence at the same time. His body is a battleground and his mind's a whirlwind of emotions.
So, Martin, tell me how you've coped with this horrible disease that's given you this old man's head on your young body.
I'll tell you what, lady, there's nothing wrong with the lad. He trains through all weathers. Rain, snow, shower of crisps. And one day, he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to run in the Olympics for England. And then he'll thank me.
Is that right, Martin? You're going to run for the Olympics, my love?
He's sulking because I won't buy him a flat cap. You're sulking, aren't you, Martin, because I won't buy you a flat cap? Aren't you, Martin?
Why won't you buy me a flat cap, Dad?
Martin, we've gone through all this. You said you wanted to fit in, so we bought you a nice new Lakers baseball cap, but you never wear it.
What would I want with a Lakers baseball cap? They're for big Jessies. I want a nice flat cap. They're good.
Oh, why don't you listen to your M&M rap CD that we bought you? You never listen to it.
Because M&M's crap, Dad. What would I want listening to them? I like Benny Goodman. I like Glenn Miller. He redefined the old genre of big band jazz with his close harmony clarinet playing. He's really good. I don't like all that stuff. It's crap.
You want a rowing machine, don't you, to train for the trials, don't you, Martin?
No, I don't, Dad. It's just... I don't like going out for trials. Look, I get wet and I get cold. It's all horrible. And I don't like to use the running. I just like to stay in and watch Three Peaks on TV. It's a good soap opera, that. Not like this. It's crap.
Hey, just less of that language. You don't want to upset your mother.
How does Clegghead syndrome affect his running?
There's no wrong with the lad. It doesn't affect his running. This lad's going to run for England.
Well, you must remember the storyline from Three Peaks when the Odmondon post office was blown up by the IRA. For months afterwards, the sub-postmaster was suffering from Clegghead syndrome. We were the first people ever to actually put Clegghead syndrome on the TV. It's a subject that had never been talked about before, and we brought attention to it. And, I mean, Clegghead syndrome was the last taboo.
Clegghead syndrome affects 1 in 200 million people. But in Warpdale, there are 70 reported cases of this disease. Well, I'm not sure what this proves, but I can guess. These horrors are breeding.
But it was the fact that we brought attention to it that has brought it out into the open. And, of course, we now have Clegghead Awareness Day, which has made people much more aware of it. And I myself am actually a sufferer of Clegghead syndrome, but fortunately at the moment, being 40 years old, my head matches my body perfectly.
Have you got a girlfriend yet?
Ah, girls. Dirty. Yeah. I've got Sunita. She's 15. She comes down and watches me train.
Come on, Martin! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Come on,
Go on! I can see you! Go on! I just love his fit body, me. He's got a six-pack like Peter Andre, and his ass is so tight in his running gear, and he's got a massive Linford Christie lunchbox, but his face is fucked.
All right, Anita.
All right. Doing really well.
Ah, thanks, love. You coming down Youth Club later
Of course I am.
You. See you about 6 outside bus stop, yeah?
All right then, yeah.
Have a few fags and all.
All right,
Five
see you
more
later.
laps.
Okay.
Well, actually, I've got 2 girlfriends. I've got my Millie and all. She comes and watches me train as well.
Come on, lad! Come on! Go on! Oh, you can do it!
So does Millie know about your other girlfriend?
Yeah. Because Millie is Anita's gran.
Oh. And Dad, how else are you going to help Martin with his handicap?
Well, when Martin wins a triathlon, I'm going to enter him into the decathlon. Now, that's 10 events. It's a superb challenge for my lad here. He's going to be the next Daley Thompson, he is.
I don't want to be the next Daley Thompson.
You do, lad?
I don't want to be the next Daley Thompson.
You do, Martin, because what we've got for you is a surprise present for you to borrow, and it's just what you've always wanted. I'd like to award you with this, Martin. It's my very own rowing machine, because when I saw you, I cried. But no matter how disgustingly ugly your face is, to me, you're still beautiful on the inside.
I don't want a rowing machine. I want me pipe.
So you can borrow that at the weekends. Well, probably not the weekends, just Tuesday lunchtimes actually. But we'll talk to your dad about the arrangements, okay, my love?
What do you say to that, Martin?
I don't want a rowing machine. I don't like running, and I'm not going to be the next Daley Thompson.
You are going to be the next Daley Thompson, and you're going to enjoy being the next Daley Thompson.
I am not going to be the next Daley Thompson. I hate Daley Thompson. I hate what you stand for. You're always telling me what to do, and I won't do it anymore.
You're going to be the next
I will not do it.
You're going to be the next Daley Thompson.
I don't want to do it. I'm going to go home and watch TV.
You bloody are.
Oh.
Just look at him go.
Yes.
What an athlete. Do you know, he's going to be the next Olympics.
Good.
What?
Well, Martin did come back eventually and he's harder at work than ever. He's got the triathlon trials coming up and his father has entered him for the Yorkshire Decathlon in 2001. Best of luck to you, Martin, a proud athlete, overcoming your hurdles and chasing your dreams. And with that, it's back to the studio.
That's good, isn't it? Makes us appreciate just how lucky we all are.
Yes. And for all you lucky people, it's time for what's on and what's happening in the Pennine area.
Pull on your tight trousers and get on down to the Crackley Dance Hall. Over 60s are invited to a pensioners' dirty dancing weekend. A woman claiming to be royalty attempted to gain access to Odmodden Mardi Gras last weekend. Luckily, there were numerous police officers on hand to escort her from the county. Be on your guard. She may attempt to do the same thing again this weekend. There'll be a benefit gig by Cottingley band Stein. It's for victims of Japanese bonsai bladder syndrome, the adult bedwetting disease.
Doctor said it's the worst case of nappy rash he's ever seen.
Mr. J.C. Gustav McMahon, the Yorkshire Icarus, will be making a sponsored attempt to reach the sun. He'll be strapping onto his back 8 hawks and a midge. Unfortunately, Odmodden Zoo is closing. Due to the lack of good homes in the Warpdale area, all the animals are being released into the wild. Come and bring your gun, it'll be a bit of a free-for-all, to be followed by a barbecue and all-night denial. The Pubber Van continues to wind its way around the region. Its kitchens are famous for cooking only roadkill. This weekend, resident chef Monsieur Grog premieres his new menu, featuring seared puddle shark and peas.
Well, that's all from us tonight. Join us next week when we meet Millie Tarnwell, the Yorkshire pensioner who has never left the field she was born in.
Oh, getting ya. Oh.
We take her to a concert.
And Yorkshire's top blue comedy duo tell us how they made a gorilla laugh itself to death.
Hey, I said, have you seen me? Aye, I've seen thee. When's the seen me? Over by 3. When's the seen me? About 3:30. Tell me, what did they see? They were having a pig. Bugger me! Dirty!
So, same time, same place, see you then. And remember, for the stories that surround you,
Focus North.
from us, good night.
Good night.
Ah!
Next on Pennine, the region's favourite downtrodden detective Wool returns. Wool's dying, who will help Wool? And what role does his arch-nemesis Rags play in Wool's mystery illness? That's Wool, Death of Wool, next on Pennine.